Hi, good morning and welcome back to a beautiful, very still day here at Herman's Island in Nova Scotia. And you see ahead of me here we have got the headsail out. This is one of the Cuban fiber headsails on this boat. We have three options. We've got the staysail, we've got the jib, and then we've got a genoa that goes ahead of this. I'm just moving quickly on the foredeck there. You can hear there's people working above me, and up here, right at the head of the sail is Kyle. He's just about to cut it away. Yeah, you can cut it away when you're ready. So on this kind of boat, what happens is that the sail is tied on. Let's see what happens. There we go. Nice and easy. Okay. So what we'll do is then we'll undo the zip tie, which we'll show you down here. Sorry, not the zip tie, these ties here. Undo all this lot, these little soft hanks, and then we're going to be getting hold of the zip. There's a zip just inside of here. It's all tied on right now. We'll get our hands on that and I'll show you in a second. Then we'll be able to unzip the sail and bring it onto the deck and flake it. Let's see how that goes. Okay, we've started to get the jib down. The wind started to come up, so we had to move quite quickly. But you can see now it's just flaked out on the deck here. It's Cuban fiber. This sail very heavy. It's in great condition, but it's going to need some service work. It's going to need a couple bits and bobs doing to it, but it's still a very viable sail for what we're trying to do here. We have three of these and they're all in pretty much the same condition, so although we won't be buying new sails for this, I'm not going to worry at all that we're going to have the horsepower we need to do what we're doing. But in terms of getting on and off, it's very different from normal jibs. You see what it's got? It's just this giant zip that goes all the way down the front of it. It's just on the side of the sail here. It's unzipping this, and then it's got these ties every 4 or 5 feet, something like that, and the ties then just allow it to have a mechanical hold on the sail. But basically the distribution of the load of the sail is just on the zip, and that's it. That's what holds it on. And this sail will run up to, well, if you're off the wind it'll be like 30 odd knots it'll hold, so it's a very strong system. Man, doing all this filming, I get lots of opportunity to try and complete tasks with one hand. So single-handed sailing is hard, but single-handed sailing that you film is even harder. Okay, so we get this tie off. Yep. And then you have to be very careful with this stuff. It's very sharp. It's almost like this stuff in here. You see how thick and hard that stuff is? It's really bulletproof. So zip here, and that'll come down, and then we'll get it off and take it to the sail loft, and then we can get that one serviced as well. So it's looking pretty good. We've got Kyle here is getting the winch off of the mast. We did all the winches 2 weeks ago. Mike and I did. It was the first job we did when we came here. We serviced all the winches at the back, but now Kyle's getting on this one. And you can see it's completely dry inside. Drier than Gandhi's flip-flops. That was the chit-chat, right? Yeah, it's a pretty simple guy, this. Oh look, there's some grease on it. We don't need to do anything to it. There's some grease. Ooh, let's fall off the boat. And then Mike is down here. He's just putting this winch that we took apart. It had one washer which kind of like got lost in the mix when we were taking things apart. The winches were taken apart at the beginning of the year and were basically a giant bucket of parts, and we put it all back together again, but there was one washer. There's always one, isn't there? And we're just putting it in now. We've got that all worked out. These are the 3-speed winches that are in the cockpit. And then Ken is in here. Is he? No, he's not. Okay, well, this is where he's working, and he's starting now to rebuild the engine. Look at all these blankets they've got down. Like suddenly everybody is very professional and very clean and tidy. So he's starting to just clean up the ports where the engine was painted. He's going to clean up the ports to get a nice clean face for the exhaust manifold going back on. I've just taken the engine water intakes out of the boat. We're going to go and rebuild that in the barn. All of the cables have been cleaned up. They're all going to go into new loom conduit. And then we've got up the front here where the guys were working last night. They've now finished painting in the electrical room. They've got all the floor done, they've got all the walls done, and then they've painted through into the front there. So apart from a couple of details to get little spots of paint off things and that, it's looking pretty good. We've got to go into here today and paint inside there, but basically we are on Thursday now, so we're looking at, by the painting that we do today, all painting will be done tomorrow, which is fantastic. The engine will be being rebuilt. We had an idea that we wanted to get the engine rebuilt by the end of this week, but we've got a problem getting hold of the the water pump. That seems to be very difficult to get hold of. With COVID, the ability to just get things sent in, particularly somewhere like Nova Scotia, is causing a little difficulty. So the water pump we need to do, and then we've got that oil cooler, and the oil cooler needs a little welding repair, so that's happening right now. But yeah, it's looking pretty good at the moment. So I think now though it's time to go up to the house, and my part of it today can be going and trying to see if we can secure that funding we need for the mast. We're getting down to the 15th of October now, and basically we need to get that money in the next week, otherwise we can't do this. The amount of time it will take to build the rigging is just too great. We won't be able to depart, but the good thing we got is that Ryan is here now, and he's looking at all the weather stuff and getting us worked out. Did I call you Kyle again earlier in that when I was talking? I think I did. I've become obsessed with the fact that Ryan is actually called Kyle. We have another friend who's got a class 40 that's over here, and Ryan really wants to meet him, so I just keep calling him Kyle, which is the name of the owner, just to confuse things. But yeah, if we can get that rigging squared away in the next week, so all those millionaires out there, this is what you want to put your money into, this is where it's at. Let's get this happening. If not, we're going to have the most amazingly prepared boat with completely unusable rigging.